Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. Good morning. Let me get this radio started. Okay. It's being really slow over here. Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Good morning, Kathy. I agree with that. It's been a long, long week. I don't even know why, but it sure has. All right, let me load in some giveaways. It's freaking cold here this morning. Me too. I'm still on my first cup of coffee. Still on the first one. I actually didn't get out of bed till like 8 o'clock this morning. I'm usually up at like 6. So running a little behind. But hey, I was live on time, right? That counts for something. Okay. Sue, what? Where do you live again? Oh man, I'm so over it. It's like 26 out this morning, northern Minnesota. Yeah. It's like 26 this morning and it's a high of 44. So it shouldn't be too awful, but then it drops down and it's supposed to snow tonight and tomorrow and it's only supposed to be like 20 tomorrow and Sunday and Monday. It's super windy here too. It is super windy all day yesterday and today. It tore one of the sides off my chicken house. I got to go fix it. The tent, not their actual house, their tent yard thing I got for them. But yeah. And but then I guess it's going to warm back up next week. We'll be back in the 50s, 40s and 50s. Yeah, summer can hurry on up. I agree with that. All right. Small, regular, large. Okay. We got us some listings loaded. Let's do our first giveaway of the day. All right, there's the first one. I'm gonna try to get the radio on. Come on, radio. I know why it's been such a long week because I got a sick kiddo and now the hubby's getting sick. It all came back with a vengeance. Oh no. That's awful. I couldn't live up there. I really don't think I could. I struggled with Iowa weather. It's significantly colder than Missouri weather, and it's not even that far away. I graduated in Iowa. I did really like it up there, except the cold. Like in Iowa, yeah, it's crazy. Like I live in Missouri and I grew up at the Lake of the Ozarks. And so we have really narrow, windy, curvy roads. If the sign says sharp turn 25, it means that, you know? Like it really means that. It means you better slow down because there's going to be like a complete 90-degree turn there. And I remember when I moved up to Iowa, like you're driving and it's just fields. And so like you can see all the way to the horizon, and like you can read a book while you're driving up there. And then you'll see a sign that says sharp turn, 25, and it's like, okay, so you slow down because you're gonna turn. And it's just a gradual little like curve in the road, and I'm like, what the hell is this? This is not a sharp turn. I'm used to driving on roads that go like this, and wiggle around because the Ozarks is like a mini mountains. I've been to Oregon a couple times out by Portland and like Mount Hood, and it really reminds me a lot of out there. Well, I guess out there reminds me a lot of the lake, but out there everything's just way bigger, So here it's like mini mountains, but they're still windy, wiggly, curvy, and they're all lake roads. So one way in, one way out. You go all the way to the end of the road, you get to the water, and you got to turn around and go all the way back to get back out. But the weather is significantly different. And it's about 5 hour drive, 6 hour drive to Des Moines area from where I live. And it's like when I was growing up, my dad always called it Alaska because my aunt and uncle lived there. He was like, they live up there in Alaska. And when I moved up there my senior year for high school, because I got in trouble and had to go, uh, we had like a snowstorm and we got like 5 feet of snow or something crazy. I don't know. But I was like, oh my God, my dad was right. It is like Alaska. We had to shovel ourselves out of the house. I was like, he wasn't kidding all those years I thought he was just talking shit. No, he was for real serious. Craziness. I only lived there for 2 winters and that was enough for me. I was like, yep, I'm out of here. Back to the lake for me. Oh. So what's everybody up to today? You guys got any big plans for the weekend? This love before. Something rational. Okay. Yeah, I need to do some painting in my house. It's got like wallpaper in it though, so it's gonna be a whole chore. I'm not quite ready for that. We got to do some other renovations first before I mess around with that. TNT, like TMNT, like TNT, like dynamite carvings. Oh, that'll be fun, Kathy. See, that would be fun. That would be fun. Yes, that's why I haven't done it yet. I actually love to paint, but removing wallpaper is horrible. Oh, teenage, yes. I know you. There's like 4 or 5 of you looking for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Um, I've been looking too. I haven't found any yet. I have not found any yet. Yeah, and so I grew up in construction and my solution to wallpaper was always just to gut it. Kind of like my solution to cleaning back there in the kitchen. I'm like, tear that shit out of there. I want it all gone. Put some fresh drywall up and start over. But, you know, um, I might have to take the wallpaper off that house over there. I don't know. We'll see. But I've heard a steamer is the way to go. Somebody has some, yeah. Not me. I haven't found any yet. And I don't like wallpaper, but see what I did here? I wallpapered it. Because it was old. I mean, it's drywall. It'd never been finished. It'd never been taped behind it. This wall back here was horrid. Like, it was horrid. And so we put the cedar on the bottom down there. I do have shark teeth. Yep. Yep. We put the cedar on the bottom, and then this was still horrid. And there's this random wire running across the wall. And my husband was having a fit about it. He's like, no, 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 And I'm like, it goes all the way across. And I'm like, we can't fix that right now. That's going to have to wait. And so, like, over a year ago, I got this wallpaper for free from Temu because that's where I order all my stickers from. And so they give me free shit, and the options weren't great. So I was like, well, I'll take the wallpaper and maybe I'll put it up at the house over there. Well, I got it and I'm like, this stuff is dumb. So I stuck it in the closet and it's been sitting there for over a year. And when we were looking at this wall, I was like, oh my gosh, I have the perfect solution. And I ran over to the house and I dug through the closet and I found it and I come back over here and I'm like, well, what do you think? And I started in the corner over there and put just a couple little pieces up. And the hubby's like, I think it actually looks good compared to what you were working with, and for spending $0, it looks pretty nice. And I was like, yeah. So I had to spend 30 more dollars because I got that for free, but I had to spend 30 bucks to get enough to finish this wall out. And I ordered them like a year apart. So if you really look, you can see the difference in color, the old versus the new, because it's a different pattern. You're not going to get the exact same thing a year later. But I mean, if I didn't point it out to you, you would never notice. I love it. And I actually ended up with enough to go all the way to the door over there so I could open this room up a little bit further. Isn't that awesome? Temu is the best for stickers. And then, like, other things I've gotten off Temu too. Don't ever buy rocks and crystals off of there. They are 100% not legit. I tried a couple different times for like little freebie giveaway stuff. And I'm like, I can't even give this away. So I actually did give it all away to like the kids at like Easter and stuff like that. Uh, at the they do a big Easter egg hunt. So I filled up a bunch of Easter eggs with like all the cheap Temu stuff and just give them all to all the kids because I'm like, I'm not selling any of that. Oh, good morning, Bonnie. How are you? Yeah, well, and that's where I got my racks from, like my rolly racks. Yeah, and my experience on the Temu rocks is they're man-made materials. Even if they say natural, they're man-made. Like I think I saved that malachite heart. Like this came I ordered a bag of hearts last year for Valentine's Day because I was just looking for cheap hearts to give away. And good to see you, Bonnie. And it said they were all natural. And this is not natural malachite. So even the ones that say they're natural, and none of them in the whole bag full of hearts, none of them were natural material. They were all man-made. So I kept that one as an example of man-made malachite. Yeah, so don't buy rocks and crystals from Temu. Highly, highly discourage it. Unless you're getting them for something like that it doesn't really matter if they're natural or man-made. I haven't bought rocks or crystals off there in over a year now. But I buy all my stickers from there. I get amazing prices on stickers. Um, that's where I got the wallpaper from. My couple of the stands I use came from there. My rolly carts, I got all those off Temu. And they're less than half the price of what you can get them anywhere else. You can't beat it. And if they do send you a broken something, they're really good about giving you your money back. Yeah. Like crystal ones? Yeah. So, it's got I think just like anything else, that's cool, Kathy. I think it's well, and Temu is kind of like Amazon and Walmart Marketplace, right? It is a collective. So it's not just one company, it's thousands of companies. So you got to kind of learn from you got to kind of learn from what you do, and the different companies and stuff. Yeah, stickers are amazing. I love stickers too. Go. Right, for the printers. Yeah. Let me know how that goes. I have one of the really expensive label printers. It's a Dymo. I guess it's like the top brand, but I didn't buy it. My sister-in-law gave it to me. She used to sell online and she doesn't anymore. And she's like, I was just using my printer, and she's like, here, please have this. You're going to love it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Yeah, wall signs and stuff. I get a lot of those too. Like, and I like the canvases off of there. They got some really nice canvases. And just random silly stuff like that 10 right there, that sign. I think it was like $1. But yeah, my Dymo, I love that Dymo. I've had it for like, well, for 2 years now. I've had it longer than I've lived here. I didn't start using it until I moved here. And I'm like, man, I'm curious to know how some of these other ones work because I'm not really down for spending $400 on a label printer. I mean, I will if I have to, but right, Park, right. Good. Oh, and congratulations on your giveaway. Good morning, Mary. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy birthday. Does it work great? Yeah. That's good to know. Like I said, I haven't had to actually purchase one yet. I've been using the one that was gifted to me. And I love it. Comes with 1,000 labels. There you go. Now I do order my labels. I have learned to be picky with labels because I've ordered a couple different brands of labels. And like one of the brands, that's good, Kathy. One of the brands kept getting stuck in the printer. It didn't work very well. Um, I'd have to get the box to show you what brand it is, but I'm kind of picky about the labels. So I tried a few different ones and then I ended up with these. Yeah, the 4x6, and these are great. Hold on a second. I'll show you one of the packages. I'm going to need a new one today. This is the brand that I use for my labels. And like I said, I tried a few other ones, and these are rolls. I tried a few other brands, but I really didn't like them. There are two bowls. I'll show them to you. Yeah, and I get my shipping stuff. You'll learn too. Did you get a screenshot? Good deal. Yeah, I love that brand. Um, there's this one is 48. I would run this one for 40. The shipping stuff I've learned over time, quality matters on the boxes. So some of my boxes I do order from Temu, but some of them I like my bigger boxes. I haven't had good luck ordering the heavy duty boxes from Temu, but like my little ones, they come from Temu. So there's this one I would run for 40. And then here's the second one. And it is 44, so 35, so 40. So I would do 40, 50, 60, 75. I would do 70 for the pair or 35 and 40. This one's got, here, let me zoom in. Yeah, and now I'm getting ready to add USPS boxes to the collection of boxes because we're starting to do the general merchandise stuff. And so I'm going to use the priority boxes for a lot of that. Not pretty. If they don't sell today, Ashley, I will. I love once. I'll make a note for you. Melodramatic fools. Where's my light? There we go. Where is my pen? Kathy, I have those days. Right now it is the Chinese New Year. So they're not shipping anything out right now. So and they're all on vacation. So I've been talking to gotta go. Bye, Bonnie. I've been talking to my Pakistan friend and working on getting an order together from him. Yay, right? And you like the smaller one, right, Ashley? All right. I got a note sitting here for you. If it is still there at the end of the show today, I'll stick it in a basket for you till Monday. Oh, okay. I got my first cup of coffee down. You know what else I have to do this weekend? I have to get a coffee pot for over here. Well, water pot. Because it's a long walk. All right, guys. I am going to take a long walk and go get my second cup of coffee because I'm not going to function without it. But I'm going to run you a couple giveaways. Can you hear the radio? Oh, I thought, Mary, why? Here we go. There you go. You're working on your second pot? I used to drink coffee like that. I can't anymore. I could, but I don't. It gives me tummy problems. Okay, but I worked really hard. It took me a long time to back off the pots a day. I pretty much lived on coffee. Oh, one Americano in the morning and I'm good to go, right? I like oh yeah. Yeah, working on cars requires additional caffeine and sometimes even alcohol, some Baileys in that fucking coffee, man. I'm very, very, yeah, right, right, and a hammer. Both, all the above. I'm very, very glad we moved here, and I have a mechanic now, so we don't have to do all that stuff ourselves. He is super awesome. I love him so much. And he's like really good and really reasonable. He came and fixed my truck in the driveway last year when it was freezing cold, and he had to put a new throttle body on it. And I will, Ashley, absolutely. He had to put a new throttle body on it. And when I called the parts store, it was going to be like 350 bucks. And he only charged me $300 to put the part on in the freaking snow in my driveway. I was like, hell yeah. He's like, I can do it cheaper because I get cheaper prices on parts and stuff. So I love it. I love it. It's the first time in my life I've ever been able to call a mechanic. It's the best. All right, guys, I'm taking my other phone. Yeah, Mary. And so I had to transition from regular coffee to mushroom coffee. So I would add like well, when I first started, I was drinking several pots of coffee a day. So I would do like half a cup of coffee instead of water and then add you don't need one. It does make it frothier if you have one, but I don't have one right now. Mine broke. But yeah, I would do like half a cup of coffee and then add the mushroom coffee to it and kind of slowly started. I had to wean myself off of that high caffeine content. You know what I mean? And then I just slowly like lessened the amount of real coffee and added water to the point where I wasn't drinking the real coffee anymore at all. Yeah, I've tried several different brands. My go-to is the Everyday Dose brand. I love it. And it does have a little bit of caffeine in it, but not nearly as much. And it definitely makes a difference in my squirrel behavior. And my Everyday Dose coffee should be here sometime in the next day or two. I'm hoping it shows up today. So you guys might see me start acting a little more normal again. You guys are gonna be like, whew, don't ever let that girl run out of that shit again. All right, I'm gonna go get me another cup of coffee, guys. Hang tight. I'm taking my other phone, so I'll start another giveaway when this one ends, and I'll be back in just a few minutes. Well, I don't know that I would call it normal per se. I'm back. It's fucking cold out there. It's cold and windy. For the little ones and the big ones, James? Let's see. Let's look at them real quick. Okay. All right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 little ones. And 2 big ones. These guys were 25 each. I would do, and several of the little ones have gotten chipped, not all of them. But I would do 40 for all of them. I cannot believe my eyes. Humor me and tell me lies. I love it. I love it. What will be you and me? Well, I honestly, I'm not a shark tooth. I don't know a lot about them. I was told I got them from the gym show, and these were labeled as great white teeth, the 2 big ones. And then the little ones were all just shark teeth was the label. So, shark teeth and great white teeth to the best of my knowledge. But like I said, I'm really not I really don't know if that's accurate or not. I'm just not knowledgeable enough in the teeth, you know. I would think they labeled them appropriately though. They were pretty trustworthy. That's also where I got the Pyrite Suns from, and they were pretty awesome. So I think they were probably accurate, but I just can't guarantee you that because I don't know. Brian, I put them all in a little dish over there. Congratulations on your giveaway. Man, it's cold. I had to turn the heater back on in here. We haven't had the heater on for a few days. Oh. Autodus. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. You actually got sun today? That's awesome, Mary. We've got some sun right now, but that wind is like insane and it's cold. And I guess tomorrow it's gonna snow. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. Perhaps the true little silicone. If you're looking for anything, just ask. That's right. That's right. Happy Friday. How's everybody doing? Yeah, they're kin to Megs. Yeah. I mean, they really, I really don't know. They could be. They're cool. I had to get a couple of them. And the gym show's coming up in March. It's not too much further away, I don't think. So I'll be going back. I'm thinking maybe this time I'll be able to go now that I've been. I'm going to go ahead and get my wholesale license. I need to do that before it's too late again. And that way I can get back in the wholesale side because they wouldn't even let me back there. But yeah, I do want to go back though. This one's in Kansas City. Yeah, you hear that wind howling? Yeah. I'm saving up. I have a little side savings for the Tucson show. I'm hoping next year, but maybe 2 years from now, I can go out there. Yeah, Missouri. Yep. It's right by the airport in Kansas City. Yep. Yeah, I'm hoping maybe next year or the following year I can go out to Tucson. And I want to go for a couple of weeks and play around in Arizona and go to the gym show out there and do lives while we're there. Right? Not why not, right? Do some like Tucson gym show lives. And but I want to have enough money to be able to ship, like $5,000 to $10,000 worth of inventory back home, or maybe rent like a U-Haul to bring it all back home with or something. So I don't want to go out there broke. Yes, I got to get it before. Yeah, I want to get it before I go. I'll probably do that today, actually, when I get off the live. I'll probably go ahead and file for that. Yeah, I think you have to pay like $100 bond or something. It's not too bad, but I just haven't needed it. Whatnot takes care of all the sales tax stuff for me, so I don't need a sales tax ID. But I do need it for wholesale purposes because that's what identifies you as legit. So I'm gonna have to. So it's kind of one of those do I or don't I things because I'll have to file income taxes every 3 months. Even if it's zero, I'll still have to do that paperwork. But once I have that, I can also I can let people come in here into the public. Yeah, like 5 hours and 30 minutes from you, huh? So that means I'm like 7 hours from you. And I do, Mary, I do have the building and, I do want to open it up to the public and it's going to be a bit of a process, but I'm about an hour and a half south of Kansas City. I'm right by Osceola, Missouri. Yep. Yep. Extra expenses. So, yeah. Yep, yep, yep. Well, and a little slow getting started in here, but that's okay because that's just how it works. But I'm working on inventory, so I actually have pretty close to $10,000 worth of. Oh, so you'd be closer. You'd be closer to me than 5.5 hours. Yeah, that's cool. You'll have to come up and visit sometime. Bring your fishing pole. We'll go fishing. Yeah, but I have a pretty close to about 10 grand worth of inventory coming this way. Your choice. So I'm right by Osceola, which is so I have the Sac River by me, the Osage River by me, Truman Lake, Stockton Lake. I'm surrounded by water. And so when they built the Truman Dam, it backed the rivers up. So we've got like all these little like I call them cul-de-sacs, but that's not what they're called. They have a name. I can't think of it right now. I call them cul-de-sacs because it's like where the water goes back in a little circle and then comes back out to the river. And so before I knew there was an actual name for it, I named it a cul-de-sac myself. And then I found out there was a real name. Yep. Technically, we're not supposed to. Technically, that's illegal. But we do that sometimes too, because why not? Right? Right? It is fun. It really is. It is fun. I remember to bring some of those fly strips over. Now I got to figure out where to put them where they're not going to touch me. By hand, not very big, but I grew up at the Lake of the Ozarks, which my whole life, like when I was a kid, we were pulling catfish out of there. I'd go fish with my dad all the time and his friends, and we were pulling catfish out of there my size. So like 3, 4 foot long, 5 foot long catfish, big fish, lots of big fish. We used to go fishing up in the big the I think it's the Big Blue River is what it's called, right there by Kansas. And same thing up there. They would run like trot lines up there. Yep, they would run trot lines up there, and so we would go out on the boat and pull those trot lines up and pull out, 3, 4 foot long catfish, big enough I couldn't pick them up. And then, like, when I was living at the lake, well, I grew up there, and we lived here for 2 years now. But we would always go at the bar I worked at. We would go fishing right there on the dock and pull out, you know, 2 footers all day long. Just fun, just for fun with French fries. They loved French fries. They loved French fries. Yeah, and I have no idea what their poundage was. But I love them things. They're so cool, aren't they? I love catfish. Well, and we go spoonbill fishing every year. It's almost spoonbill time. That's coming up here in a couple weeks. The Lake of the Ozarks is a madhouse. You have to be a special kind of crazy to live there. Normal people don't live there. If somebody lives there and they tell you they're normal, they're not. Because you either have to be able to put up with the level of ridiculous that the Lake of the Ozarks provides, or you have to actually be on that level of ridiculousness. There's no in between. you know. But it's a party place. It's where everybody goes to party. No, no, James. No, no. Not the hillbillies. They're not the ones causing the problems. They stay in the woods. It's all the city people that come down. Yeah, it's all the city people that come down. So like, you know how like New Orleans, there's like a bar, or four on every corner. You know what I mean? That's how the Lake of the Ozarks is on the lake. So they come down, all the city people come down there. Well, and interestingly enough, if you really want to know some history about the Lake of the Ozarks, it was founded as a rich people's playground for swingers. So, and you can actually look up the history on this and verify this information. But the Inn at the Grand Glaze and Tantera and the Lodge of Four Seasons originally were established as swinger convention hotels. And we're talking all the way back like in the 50s, 40s, 50s is when all this started. And so that's just grown. And so there's over 3,000 miles of shoreline. The Lake of the Ozarks is over 100 miles long, way over 100 miles long. It's got all these branches that come off of it and everything. And so everybody comes down there, brings their big boats down there and their yachts and pays somebody to drive them around to all these boats and just get fucking wasted. And yeah, we got the races down there twice a year. And it's just a rich people's playground is what it is. The hillbillies, they're not the issue. Yeah, I'm just a little bit of I'm like a chameleon, I'm just a little bit of all of it. I grew up in the country, redneck, playing in the dirt, river rat, running the rivers, swimming in the lake, playing with the catfish, all that good stuff. But I get along with all the rich playground people too. We made friends very easily. Somebody's got to babysit them and make sure that, they're not getting too carried away. And that was always my job. And I got very, very well paid to do such job too. But it's an awesome place, really. But like you can't go in the summertime nowadays, you can't take like a kayak out on the lake. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can't take a kayak out on the lake at the Lake of the Ozarks in the summertime anymore. It's too big. Well, but since 2020, Mary, what happened in 2020 was the rest of the world shut down and the Lake of the Ozarks said social distance what? Masks, what? We have alcohol sunshine. We don't need your bullshit. We're not participating. So we legit did not participate in COVID at the Lake of the Ozarks. And in the Tri County area of the Lake of the Ozarks, we only had 3 casualties from COVID the entire time. One of them was an old guy that was a bus driver. Another one was she was actually a pretty predominant lawyer down there in the area, and she died. And then I don't even remember who the third one was. But that's it. All of COVID, we had 3 casualties. We did not participate in COVID. So everything was open. We were just carrying on with our lives as normal, right? And so a lot of people whose lives did get shut down and everything, they moved to the Lake of the Ozarks. Awesome. I'll check them here in just a second. They moved into their second homes, that they were just vacation homes. Well, a lot of them moved in. The population of the Lake of the Ozarks quadrupled in 2020. So it's very city down there now. Now it's like, it's very city. It's not like it was when I was growing up at all. It is 100% different. Like it's very city. We even it used to be one road went all the way through Osage Beach and that was it. And now we have a highway that goes down through there and there's all these little side roads and um, they have the lake roads that all used to just be one way in, one way out. They connect now. You can still get the kind of the classic lake, like the more, if you go to the other side of the lake and way out, up more towards like Warsaw is still kind of country up there. But it's not like it was when I was growing up. It's city. Yeah, I don't like city either. Me and Cinderella put it all together. And it's interesting because, like, oh, that's cool. I'll have to get a picture of my Meg. I've got one over at the house. Oh, that's pretty too. Aged 5 years, huh? That looks delicious. Yeah, it looks delicious. You wouldn't recognize it, Mary. It's not recognizable from 20 years ago. Not even recognizable. Well, and so in Camdenton is where the high school and stuff is, and it used to just be 54 ran through this way and Highway 5 ran through north and south, and that was it. There wasn't anything else. Well, they put in a new highway, and I call it the new highway, right? But all these kids, like my daughter Macy, she's like, "What new highway?" I'll be like, "You got to go on the new highway over there," and she's like, "What new highway?" And I'm like, "The new highway over by the coffee shop where the stoplight is, the new highway." And she's like, "Mom, that's been there like as long as I've been alive." And I'm like, "Okay, you might be exaggerating a little bit by a couple years, but I understand what you're saying. It's definitely been there longer than you've been driving." And okay, so maybe it's not new anymore. But it is. It wasn't there my whole life. Oh, some blackberries? I will hook you up. You want me to send you a whole bunch of them? I've got like thousands of blackberry bushes in my backyard. They're wild blackberries. Old 13, yeah. Old 13 Mile, yeah. Well, and part of Highway 5, part of that road is actually named Old 5 but it's been named that like as long as I can remember. Now my mom remembers when that actually was 5 Highway. I might need to do something. I'm getting a little more space and getting settled in. That would be pretty cool to do. I know I'm ready to start collecting. Like we've got an awesome piece of property out here with lots of resources on it. I like making all the tinctures and medicinals and uh-huh and all the fun stuff. I like to do that. I haven't had time or space for a while now. So I'm looking forward to these next couple years as we get things, fixed up and settled in and situated. I'll have this commercial kitchen here I can do whatever I want in and, you know, plenty of space and storage and got to get me a greenhouse back there and that's going to be amazing. There goes my youth. Have a fish fry. Oh, we're definitely gonna have some fish fries and some we have a giant smoker. We could smoke like a whole hog in there or a couple deers or good morning, Corby. Here, let's do another giveaway. We haven't done one yet. Pew, doo, doo, doo. Yeah, see? I'm down for that. I'm down for that. Eclectic Maven. I'm kind of pretty eclectic. Somebody told me that the other day, and I was like, what does that even mean? And then they explained it, and I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I am kind of that. I think you might be right there, friend. I think you might be right. Okay. You are eclectic, Mary says. Yeah, I think I am. I never really thought about that or really, what that word meant. Somebody said it the other day, and I was like, well, what's that mean? Yep. Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. See, in my whole life, everybody would call me eclectic means like a variety, like how there's people that have like one style, right? Like they have one style. Their whole house is like country or whatever, or their whole house is modern, right? Well, eclectic has all the different styles. And so this room actually shows you how true that is. This wall's got wallpaper on it. The cabinet's got white behind them. The bottom of that one's blue over there. We got a different color green tabletop with the different color green cabinets. I got this kind of wood next to that kind of wood. Everything's at a different height, you know. That would be considered eclectic. Just lots of randomness, and I'm pretty that. Yeah, I am pretty that. Well, my whole life, everybody would call me a hippie. They'd be like, "Hey, hippie mama," and I'm like, "Don't call me a fucking hippie. I work, okay." Right, right, Mary. Yeah. Yeah. It used to make me so mad. I'm like, don't call me a hippie. I work. Like I work my ass off. Like I'm not out here just freeloading and everything. Then they start calling me a gypsy, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's that mean? And they're like, well, it means you collect a lot of different things and you move around a lot. And I kind of have a history of moving around a lot. Usually, like I can only stay put somewhere for about 2 years, maybe three. Then it's time for me to go. Then I do something else. I'm out, you know? So I'm like, okay, okay, I can get on board with that. So, but they do work for a living, right? Like they're not just out freeloading, right? I could get on board with that. You could call me a gypsy. I'll be okay with that one. Don't call me a hippie. I mean, I'm all for the one love and everything, but they go a little extreme with it, in my opinion. Nothing against the hippies out there. I love them all. I do. My mama's a hippie for sure. Ah, and I'll turn my back around. Yep. That's how we ended up with the Gypsum name. I love this thing. Somebody carved it for me. Yeah, I have to tell my husband that kind of stuff too. He was like, "Hey, maybe I could get a motorcycle and redo it." And I'm like, "Hey, maybe you could get a space to do that in." He's like, "I got the living room." And I'm like, "You're not bringing a motorcycle in the living room to redo it." And he's like, "Well, we don't really do much else in there." I'm like, "Absolutely not. No." He's like, "Yeah, it doesn't match the house." Yeah. Now, he did almost have me talked into a tire table, though. I almost got sold on that, but ended up not going there. My whole house doesn't match. We got like 5 different kinds of everything in there in every room. It's very eclectic. This is my new word. Mary, congratulations. Eclectic. There might take away my love. I think so. I do. He's fun. He is. He's kind of an asshole sometimes, though. Sometimes he pisses me off when he tells me no and stuff. Like, excuse me, what? Did you just tell me no? I really don't like your attitude there, sir. It's just not acceptable, you know? I'm like, there's some things in this world that are just not acceptable. And tell me no is one of them. It's just not okay. All right. I think we should do some buy it now listings. We need to put some of the stuff in the buy it now. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes that too though. He got red chatted. Says she calls me an asshole. I told her I'm just a dick. There's Darla. Good morning. Yeah. Well, sometimes he is just being a dick, and I'll tell him that too. Oh man, and we've worked together for a lot of years in the boss position, you know. And sometimes like we get serious about shit, you know. And so like we start if we're starting to get into it, people freak out. They're like, "Oh my god, these two are going to throw down," you know, cuz I'll be like, "Dude, what the fuck? You're acting like a dick." And they're just like, "Oh." You know, they just like everybody steps back. They're like, "Oh shit, these guys are going to throw down." And I'm like, "No, seriously." Or vice versa, you know, he'll get on my ass. He'll be like, "You're being a fucking bitch. You need to stop," you know? Like, we'll call each other out on the bullshit, and sometimes it gets pretty heated. No, actually, we do really well. We really do. Not for everybody, that's for sure. It is needed sometimes, and sometimes I know I am being that way, and sometimes he knows he is being that way, and, you know? My Meg tooth, oh, I don't think I can get to it. It's about the size of my hand. It's probably, like, almost as big as my hand. I gotta pull my table out and water my banana trees. I haven't done that for a couple weeks. They're super thirsty. And I'll pull my tooth out so I can show you. It's in my china cabinet. My table's pushed up against my china cabinet because it was the only place I could put it so that I could put my banana trees in front of the sliding glass door. I just didn't have a lot of options. It's a small house and not enough windows. That's why I need a tropical greenhouse with a hot tub in the middle that can also be a cold tub. And it's going to be a saltwater pool, you know, heated in the winter, cool in the summer. And that'll provide the humidity for the tropical greenhouse room. See, this is a win win situation. Then we can have fresh bananas and lemons and limes all year long. My banana trees need about 20 feet clearance. So the center of it's going to have to be 20 foot tall. Yeah, he told me that when I can buy it, I can have it. And I'm like, bet that shit up. I will buy it. They'll probably they'll just get cut down. After they produce bananas, they die. So bananas are really interesting. So I'll just cut them. Yeah, banana trees, the root is the mother plant. So it's like a big chunky thing and it comes out and more banana trees sprout up from the ground, right? So it shoots up all these babies and then once that mother root is satisfied with how many babies it has, it will shoot up and produce bananas. And then once it produces bananas, it dies. But they grow very fast. Um like I've had to cut mine back a few times. And so from the time I put them outside until I bring them back in, they'll grow, 12, 15 feet just over the summer. And so, I've had to cut them back multiple times to be able to bring them in. And if I lived in a little bit warmer climate, I would probably be able to, I need like 2 more months and I could get bananas out of them. What's Darla doing this morning? Yeah, Michael's right when you were a kid. Yeah, I would have when I was a kid too. My kid would probably climb it. Do I have a hold? Corby, you have, I think, two little things on a hold, my dear. How's your knee feeling? Yeah, you got the Vanadinite and the quartz. Two little guys. It's hurting. Man, that's mine's. I've woke up a couple days and it found good, and I've woke up a couple days and it freaking hurts. Storming, yeah. Some seeds. What are you growing in your backyard? You've got this one and this one. $15 for both of them, Corby. Aren't they cute? Oh, pot plants. Gotcha. We grew some when we lived out in the camper. They did really well, so we might try again this year. I have some autoflower seeds. Um, but they're kind of old. I don't know how long the seeds stay good for. Darla, you have a 7 sphere holder. Corby, I'll run that for you now, my dear. That I just need a label for you. So whatever the shipping is, $1, and then whatever the shipping is, like $5 probably or something. All right, Corby, you're running. Great grab. Thank you, my dear. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, the neighbor guy that lived down the road had this shed. And the whole shed was full of brown paper bags full. And his son, he had like 3 boys that lived there that were a little bit older than me. We'd go in there and like steal one and break it all up and share it with all our friends, you know? It's crazy to think like the kind of shit I was doing when I was Dusty's age compared to, she won't take the trash out at night by herself. It's like, man, we either did a really good job or a really bad one. Because these kids, they don't know, you know? She's a little bit smarter than I am too, though. Like we smoke in front of her. We don't keep it a secret or anything. Right? Right? Seriously. Yeah, we don't keep it a secret or anything. Um, do you want me to run you, Darla? Darla. Duh. And so she's like, uh, she's like, I mean, I don't really see the point. Doesn't make sense to me. And I'm like, well, that's good. Absolutely, I will. They do have it easy. But, she does a lot of chores. Good morning. How are you, Miss Tracy? Ooh. You ought to know. Isn't she beautiful? I remember that TV commercial too. And when I was a kid, we didn't want to be inside on our phones and we didn't have phones, but I mean that wasn't we wanted to be outside. Well, you could keep that one too, Darla, but I've got this one here. I've got multiples of them. I ordered a bunch of them. Yeah, if we had to stay inside and watch TV, we were in trouble. It wasn't fun. That's what we did while we were eating breakfast. And then after that, if we had to stay inside, it was like, seriously? Can't we go pick sticks up out of the yard or something? you know? Exactly. Right, Darla. It was like, take your asses outside. Don't come back. This is pretty. I don't know how much this one weighs. I love all the rainbows in it. It's so rainbowy. 1 pound, 4 ounces. I would do 65. I would do 65. Yeah, or I lived in the country, so we didn't even have neighbors. We just had to go find a spot, behind a tree or something, and hopefully nobody's seen us. And if I wasn't at home, I was at my grandma's house and you just peed in the lake. It was that easy. Those were the options. Yeah, and Roman candle wars. Man, we had a blast with bottle rockets and Roman candles. I don't know how none of us ever actually got hurt, but we didn't. A couple little burns, but that ain't nothing. Yep, and we had BB guns and yeah. Yeah, exactly. I remember the neighbor kids were down one time and they filled up some water guns with piss. Oh my gosh. I went after them with the BB guns after that. It was horrible. I was so mad. I smelled that. I was like, "What are you doing?" I could have killed them. I tried with the BB gun. We all survived though. None of us died from it. And now we laugh about it. And you know what else we didn't do? We didn't go running and telling our parents about that kind of stuff, right? Like, the parents probably still don't know that happened. Lawn darts, yep, lawn darts are awesome. Mary, congratulations. We had we had lawn darts. Those were always fun. And we had really cool slingshots too. Your little sister was a tattletale. Yeah, no, we weren't allowed to do that. We would go, somebody would go to tell, and my mom would be like, I want to hear it. And if my dad was there, you didn't even attempt because my dad was like, yeah, you didn't even fuck around and try to tell on anybody if he was there. One time, my little cousin, I had two cousins, Melissa and Amy, right? And Amy was kind of like that. She wanted to tell on us for everything. Well, one time, my mom had bought us all Easter dresses, and Amy, the youngest one, she took puff paint and was painted on all the Easter dresses. And like me and Melissa didn't even know she did it. And then she put them back in the closet and hung them there. So then when, Easter come around or whatever the next day, oh, that game's horrible, Mary. Um, my mom's like, "What happened to these Easter dresses?" And she was mad. And we're like, "I don't know." Everybody's like, "I don't know." And so my dad was home to make things worse. And he's like, "I'm calling your dad." And he called my Uncle Bill, their dad. And so the dads are like lined us up and they're like, "Listen, we're going to whoop all your asses until you tell us who colored on the dresses?" And we're like, "We don't know. We don't know. We don't know." Tetherball. Yeah, that's what it's called. Yep, Darla. Yeah, we're like, "We don't know?" And so he's like, That's it. You're all getting your asses whooped?" And so he gets Melissa up there and like bends her over and starts to go to whoop her ass. And Amy just starts crying and she just starts bawling. She's like, "I did it. I did it. Don't beat him." So nobody got their asses whooped and nobody got Easter dresses. It's kind of funny. I think I was probably like 10 maybe. Tetherball's horrible. I got hit in the head by that game too many times. Yeah, those are cool. I mean, I didn't like I really didn't get beat. I didn't get whoopings or spankings very often. I was a pretty good kid. Maybe once or twice in my life. I just knew better. And I knew how to not get caught also, which is like rule number 1. If you're going to do dumb shit, don't get caught. Yeah, right, Tracy, it is. It's the suspense. It's like, "Oh my gosh." Oh, right, to see who we get, yep. And those clacker things. Uh-huh. Oh, man. I think our ages are showing, guys. I think the ages are showing. It's showing. It was fun. It was. For sure. And I mean, I can't even tell you how many days of my life I've just spent just playing in the creek? And see her get hit, right? That's awesome. Of course, right? Mom's like, "Phew." Yeah, they took it away. They're like, "Yeah, you guys no more of that." They are boring. I know. I know. I know. I make Dusty be not fully boring though. She's kind of boring, but she's like 40% not boring. I get her outside. She's got to go outside and play every day. Unless she's like sick or something or it's horrible weather, but you know what I mean? Like I make her go outside and play. I'm like, "No, you're not going to sit there all day every day on that phone or computer." Nope, nope, nope. Yeah. Yeah. Macy would do that to me. My oldest daughter, Dusty doesn't do that, but Macy would. Macy would be like, "If you make me do those dishes, I'm going to call the police and tell them you're being mean to me." And I'm like, "Go ahead. Here's the phone." That girl was she actually literally physically tried to kill herself one time over doing the dishes. And Michael had to kick the bathroom door in and we had to fucking call the ambulance. Kid was dumb as shit, man, over not doing the dishes. I'm very glad she's grown past all that. She's doing really well these days, but man, there were a few years I was like, "Listen, if she don't kill herself, I'm gonna fucking kill her." Like this is getting serious. The ridiculous level was out of control. And there was nothing that seemed to work about it. Right, Tracy? Yep. Yep. See, my dad, when I was younger, we lived up by Kansas City where he grew up at in Excelsior, and he had 6 brothers and sisters. So the cops up there knew who I was before I knew who they were, Um, because they were all shitheads for sure, every one of them. They were into some trouble, And yeah, right, Mary? Yeah, but then when I moved to the lake, they didn't know, and I was the oldest. So by the time my brothers got to school, um, they were like, "Oh, you're her sister?" 19, see that? Yeah. That's the kind of stuff I was doing. This thing's so cool. I love this rock. Oh, yeah, but I was always good at not getting caught. I could get into some shit without getting caught, and they would know. Good morning, Rebecca. Right. Well, and the difference between my 2 kids is amazing. They are 100% different from each other. And also about how they were raised, and my perspective on life and just everything about the world and my world had changed. Oh, she's on the getting better end of it, but she was up all night. She's still kind of fevering a little bit, not as bad. Um And she was up all night coughing last night. The girl did not sleep last night. She was up all night coughing. And I give her some cough syrup. It didn't help. Some cough drops didn't help. She finally got herself comfortable and fell asleep at like probably about 5 o'clock this morning. And she is snoozing hardcore right now. I'm like, oh, good. Yeah, 10 years is a whole lot of difference. When you're young, you don't think so, but it really is. Which I wasn't even gonna have kids. Really, I wasn't. And then I got one. So I wasn't prepared. And her dad was an idiot. He really is still. Well, and when I found out I was pregnant, I was like, "Oh no, I cannot have a child right now. I am in no shape or form." And her dad's an idiot. And I honestly, I was going to go get an abortion. I was like, I'm not going to bring a child into this world. I'm not going to do it. And so, um, when I went to the clinic and they did the ultrasound, I was a little over 6 months pregnant. And the lady, and I was just like watching the screen, and this whole little baby there, like head and fingers and toes and stuff, and she's like, "Well, you're too far along to have an abortion in the state of Missouri, so but you could go to Kansas." And I'm like, "What is wrong with you, lady?" Like, it was one thing when I thought it was yeah, it was one thing when I thought it was just a little bit of, jizz ball in there or something, but like a whole ass baby? No, 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 no. That's just wrong in my opinion. And I know that the whole thing of it might be wrong for some people, but yeah, she was like, "Hi." And so I had about 3 months to prepare for a kid, which I was actually on birth control. I was on the depot shot. Um, and I thought I was pregnant and I went and got a pregnancy test and it came back negative. And I was like, "Oh, so I guess I'm not pregnant." And then a couple more months went by and I was like, "Man, I just really don't feel right." And I had my period. You're so welcome, Rebecca. Thank you for hanging with us. And it took another pregnancy test. It was fine. And we went out one night and I drank 2 Long Island iced teas. And I have never been sicker in my life. Like, I puked and puked and puked and puked and puked. And finally, I told Tim, I was like, "You got to take me to the hospital. Like, I think I'm dying or something." And so I got there and they give me an IV and got me all hydrated and everything and give me some anti nausea stuff. And the doctor comes in and he's like, "There's nothing wrong with you. You're just pregnant." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "No, I can't be pregnant. Like, I just had my period and I took 2 pregnancy tests and they were both negative. And I'm on the depot shot too, by the way." And he's like, "Well, the blood work doesn't lie. So I'm going to get you an appointment set up to go get an ultrasound." And I'm like, "Okay." And so she had a very hectic upbringing. Um, Tim, I live downtown St. Louis. I got fired from my job because of all the doctor's appointments and everything. And her dad took his paycheck and instead of paying the rent on our apartment building, he went and bought a blow up um like beach chair with a blow up fucking palm tree and this new jumpsuit and some silver shoes. And I'm like, "Whoa, dude." So we had to move out and we moved in with my dad over in Kansas City. Look at this cute little angel. And my dad was on drugs at the time. So that was quite the experience. And then when I was in the hospital having her, there was another baby got kidnapped and Tim kidnapped all my stuff. Not kidnapped, but stole a bunch of my stuff and took off and left. So I got out of the hospital and moved in with my Aunt Chris back in Iowa with my brand new little baby. And then me and Tim were off and on ridiculousness for about 5 years. And then it was like, "That's enough, dude." And that's when me and Michael got together. And I was like, "Oh, look, life doesn't have to suck." I have some on the way. I do not have any right now. I have one fairy. She's a big one. And I have a couple little gargoyles and a couple little angels. Oh, yeah, that's exciting. What's the heart? So there's the big lab heart and then Moss Agate, and that one's Moss Agate. Um, who is it, James? And then I have the Rainbow Moonstones. Well, I moved up there in 99 and I graduated from Perry, Iowa in the year 2000 is when I graduated high school. And then I lived there. Well, then I was gone in the military. So the lab heart is $200. And then these guys I can run for 5, the Rainbow Moonstones. They're not super flashy. This one is huge enormous. Yeah, I moved there in 99. This one's 200. And then trying to think. So 2000, well, pretty much the whole year 2000 I graduated high school and then I left for the military and I came back. And then I was there for 2001, then I moved to St. Louis, and then I moved back in 2003 after Macy was born. And I lived there from 2003 until 2005. And then in 2005 I moved back down to the lake. Isn't this thing beautiful? I was in a yeah, right? I was in Boone, Iowa, and I was in a unit that so I was actually enlisted with the National Guard. But we had the National Guard, we had the reserves, we had the Army, we had the Air Force, and we had the Navy all together right there in Boone. And we operated as a standalone independent forward unit is what that's called. So, and I flew around in Huey helicopters. I was started out as a 77 Foxtrot, which is a petroleum supply specialist. So it was my job to go with the helicopter everywhere and make sure it was fueled and the fuel was acceptable. Um, yep. Well, and then I was E5 when I left because then once I got my E5, I got my crew chief. I went and passed the crew chief training and all that. And then I got pregnant and my whole life just changed after that. No more military for me. I wasn't going to leave my child with her dad or make my family raise her. This is a Mangano heart. Yeah, so I went ahead and got out of the military and I just didn't think that would be right to my family or her, you know? And then there's the moss moons. These girls are pretty too. This one is 40. And this one is 30. Regular price is 40 on it. And I have a couple more rainbow moonstones too. Where's my tray go? Here it is. But Macy's dad, him and I were like oil and water. Kind of like somebody else I know. Like we could not spend an hour together without getting pissed off and start arguing and yelling at each other and it arguments were always not just today's argument, but today's argument and yesterday's argument and last week's argument and last month's argument. Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah, a year ago's argument. Yeah, it was horrible. And I mean, like, we even physically fought a few times, you know? And yeah, after we were split up when Michael and I started dating. Yep. And I was just like, oh, look, like life doesn't have to suck. It doesn't have to be a fight. Like, no. And here we are almost 18 years later, and we still don't really fight. I mean, we have our moments, but we don't get in screaming matches and name calling and, none of that. Like if he really pisses me off and I'm like, dude, you're being a fucking dick, he'll go away. He's like, okay, fine, I'm gone. And he'll go cool himself off somewhere and vice versa. Right, Corby, exactly. It's like, whoa, okay, cool. This is cool. Yep. Yeah, you guys getting along for a minute there, Darla? That's good. Got these cute little feathers. I love the feathers. Yep, yep. I feel that, Corby. Well, and like in Tim's defense, I instigated it because I grew up with a bunch of boys. So you don't scare me. You know what I mean? You want to go? Let's go, motherfucker. I'll stand up. Like, I used to be a lot more raw. I'm really chill in my old age, but I grew up with a bunch of boys and I knew how to hold my own. So I instigated a lot of the fights we got into because of his stupidity. My response was sometimes violent, a lot of times violent. and, but didn't make it right. Yeah, no, never again. I'll live all by myself before I deal with somebody acting like that. Not even care. I would literally live in my car before I would live somewhere like that and deal with that shit again. Not ever again in my life. Not in this life or any others. Like, lesson learned, mark that shit off the list. That's cool, James. Yeah, the cutie patooties. You got it. Absolutely, Rebecca. Where'd I put them? Here they are. Where is your basket? I see it. I see it. I see it. The Moonstone hearts are $5 each. They're not super flashy. They're cute, but they're not super flashy. Like that one's got a little bit. See it over here? A little bit of flash. The wrong guy, the wrong situation. Yeah, I actually loved being in the military. Boot camp and basic training was the best. Like, it was like summer camp for me. I loved it. And I was good at it. I was like, let's go. Look, this is awesome. I would do 12 for all three of them if you wanted all three of them. Right time, roll over me. Yep, I've never been a girly girl, but I've always loved like sundresses and flip flops. Predominantly with a swimsuit underneath. That way I'm always prepared to jump in the lake or river. Yeah, like minis. I'm about out of minis. I got some more coming though. I thought about, well, I slept in this morning Dusty and Michael this week has been a long week. Michael's starting to get sick now too. Yeah, that'll be fun, Darla. Yep, I was thinking about getting up this morning and doing just about done for a while. What do you mean? Done doing shows? Yeah. Just not feeling it. With you, your What'd you label all your spheres with? Do you have like a cool little label maker? These flies. I got a fly strip for you guys. Isn't this thing beautiful? This is $15, Sarah. I would run it for you for 12. I like fishing better too. We were talking about fishing earlier. Okay, I'll run her for you. Hold on. Run it now. Isn't it beautiful? There you go, Darla. I know I'm trying to get Michael to put the ladder rack on the little trailer. So I can pull the kayaks down to the river by myself. Because I can't get them on top of the car and off the car by myself. I could have when I was younger, but I probably actually could. It's just more work than I'm interested in. So I'm like, what if we put the ladder rack on the little trailer? Then it would hold the kayaks and I could just back down to the river. Great grab, Sarah. Thank you so much. We have a boat on a trailer. Um, we do. We have one of those too. But I like the kayaks. I like to just go float around in the kayaks. I don't know how long ours is. I want to paint a shark on it. It's cool. Right now the goats are enjoying sitting in it. They like to jump up on it. I'm like, we're gonna have to get that thing out of the yard before they put a hole in it. Michael's like, it's metal. They ain't gonna put a hole in it. Right. Kayaking is fun. Right. Yep. Well, my kayak I bought I didn't buy it actually. My boss bought it for me, but I worked for it. Um, but it's like my kayak's like a $2,000 kayak. It's badass. And then Dusty's kayak is a cheaper one from Walmart. I think I paid like $300 for it for her birthday. And then Michael has a fishing kayak that's like a $1,500 kayak, and he doesn't like it, so I'm gonna sell it this summer. And so he has been using a little sitting kayak that we got for free off the river. Yeah, the flies really got to go somewhere. They're horrible, and I can't like smack them while they're over here on the rocks. Yeah, well, and so, but like that's the problem though. My kayak is big. It's heavy. Um, it's a 12-foot single kayak. And I mean, I can drag it down and drag it back up, but like for me to get that off the car, I can't. Yeah, it's too heavy. I can't. I mean, I could, but that's a lot of work, you know? Fuck, I'd be wore out by the time I got it off the car and down to the river and then like getting it out of the river and back onto the car onto one of those racks. That's too much for me. Like I'm just not feeling all that work, you know? I'm kind of spoiled. I've had boys doing that stuff for me for a lot of years now. So I don't want to do it. So I seen they have really nice blow up ones. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I don't take the trash out. I haven't taken the trash out for years. I'm kind of spoiled, you know. I've had a crew of boys in my life for the majority of it, you know? So like we ran a construction company. So if I needed anything, I'd just be like, "Hey guys, do, you know, and they're on it. And then like at the campground, you know, and working in restaurants, like I've always had a crew of boys around me to take care of the stuff I didn't want to do. Yeah, I really, you know, it's just kind of how it always worked out like that. It's a natural thing for some people. And I learned how to not be a bossy boss because everybody always told me I was bossy when I was growing up. So I had to learn how to not be a bossy boss. I'm pretty good at it, you know? Yeah, right. Marry your grandson. Aw. Rosen, when he comes over, he'll go find one of his little toy guns and he'll be like, "Come on, Dusty, we're taking the trash out and I'll get the monsters. Don't even worry about it." It just cracks me up. I laugh so hard every time. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is the best. With his little, you know, 3.5-year-old self. I'll take care of him. I'm like, that's awesome, Rosen. You're the cutest little thing. Yeah, they still win. The trash cans do, right? Right? Come along and ride on the fantastic. Welcome in, everybody. If you're looking for anything, just let me know. We got a little bit of a lot of bit, lots of different things. Just ask. I'd be glad to let you know what we have. Our box said it was going to leave customs today, but it hasn't yet. I checked. So I really hope it gets here tomorrow before Monday. I know. I know. But they're going to start rolling in here pretty soon. And then we're going to get overloaded with rocks and crystals. And I got to get up and move around. I can't stay here anymore. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to separate them out. Like I said, I've been talking to them because I'd like to unbox like a box a week would be ideal if I could just do like one box a week. But I can't do it when it's mixed up in amongst multiple boxes. Then I got to open them all. I'm right on a fantastic. I love that rhodochrosite. I ordered a couple rhodochrosite spheres last night, bigger ones. Pretty good price on them. Pew, pew. Isn't she pretty? Love me some quartz. I was thinking about setting up a wheel spin game. I just don't know. Just don't know. Did you dream about a wheel spin game? Oh my gosh, I fell asleep. I fell back asleep this morning when my alarm went off. Right, Darla. That's what I told him. Like my wall that the TV's on, I want the whole wall to be shelves. And when we uh when we lived in the camper, he built me shelves with cedar, with live edge cedar, and he used the like trees, the sticks to go up to, so it looked like the trees were holding the shelves up. And that's what I want in my living room. I want that whole wall all the way up to the ceiling. And I want the TV on a stand so the shelves can be behind the TV also, and you could just move the TV out of the way, and then I can put like movies and stuff like that behind the TV. And if you want to get to them, you can move the TV and there they are. And then I can put all my books and rocks and stuff around that whole wall. Yeah, well, and mine are all mixed up, I don't have them all separated like that. Yep, I don't have them all separated like that, but I have multiple shelves that have, you know, rocks and crystals on them throughout my whole house, everywhere. I have them in the window seals of the windows and, you know, on the table and on the shelves and on the dresser and in front of the books on the bookshelves and yeah, well, and we're all different. We were talking about this morning. I am eclectic. I just learned that word. I just learned what it meant the other day. Serenity! Congratulations on your giveaway. About you now. See, I have mine separated too, though, but I separate them more by energetics. So it's more of an energetics thing than a shape, So like these crystals are good for helping you to sleep better at night. Not necessarily materials, but energetics, So like I don't have any malachite in my bedroom because malachite actually it gives Michael, he can't handle it. Um so like these crystals are good for helping you to sleep at night and helping you to recharge. So I have shungite and I have shungite in my bedroom. I have selenite in my bedroom. I have my big kyanite tower because kyanite is super good for communication within self and like within the divine. So helping you get into alignment with yourself and see the truth of things. Um because a lot of times as humans we have a hard time seeing what the truth of a situation is, so kyanite helps with that and helps with so I keep that next to my bed. So it kind of just depends, like I have them separated out kind of by like energetics and what they're good for. And then your different shapes are good for different things too. So like your spheres, round shapes, these are for grounding. This is a grounding shape. So this is going to help to ground energy. It helps to bring energy into existence in your area and to ground things. Ground round, right? And then like points, towers. These are good for directing energy. Like maybe you want to direct that energy away from you. You would want your tower to point away, or maybe you want to direct that energy towards you. You would want to point it towards you. So they actually have practical functions for the different shapes. It's a thing, Darla. When yeah, once you get stuck, learn once you get it's worse than crack, okay? Once you start rocking, you're kind of just a stoner for life. Yep, yep, yep. And then like you can use the various like a lady goddess body. This could be used, say you're trying to manifest health. You could use this and you could set the intentions to manifest health into that body. So the different shapes have practical purpose too, beyond just they look cool. Right, Darla, right. I'm not big on the whole mine thing. A lot of people get stuck on that. This is mine, 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 mine. I don't really care for that a lot. It's like, why? You know? Yeah, it's ours. Like we have boxes coming in. We have this, we have that. It's ours. Yeah. Because it is a collective, like when I say we have boxes coming in, I mean that because I wouldn't be able to afford to buy all those boxes of rocks to bring them in here if it wasn't for you guys helping me to purchase the rocks that I'm buying and bring them in. So it's not just mine, it is ours. Like it's a collective that has accomplished that. And as is with most things in my life. So I think the movement towards ours is a really big positive step in anybody's life. It's like change your mind, change your world. When you start making those little changes and taking those low vibration words out of your vocabulary and you start focusing on more higher vibrations, uh everything kind of starts to play together. It starts to work together. Things start to happen. I think I'm gonna change that to Monday mornings. Speaking of Darla, intentions. I set the intention to become balanced and aligned with my higher self and purpose for the greater good of all, sourced through love and light with much gratitude, and so it is. I will send it to you. Yes, ma'am. Intentions, intentions, intentions. Yeah. And you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. Like, when your life sucks, you're the only one that can make it better. You got to start somewhere. And that goes for anybody and everybody, you know? I was there wholeheartedly all the way, fully in. Oh, I found my weed I lost. That's exciting. Hold on a second. You guys want to screenshot it? Let me find my book. Here we go. Give it a screenshot. Guys, if you want to join us on the school app, I picked a fabulous time to start the school app up right before I got possession of this building and started to get, the moving and all that. So I've kind of been neglectful of getting that going. But now that I'm over here, we're getting a little more settled in. I will start doing that again. And so on the school app, you're welcome, Mary. If anybody else wants a screenshot, on the school app, I'm going to be changing the time. It was Tuesdays at 2. You're so welcome, Serenity. But I'm going to be changing the time and we will be recording it. So you'll be able to watch the replays of those videos, but I'm going to do a whole variety of different things there. We'll do some past life regression, exploration type stuff. Um, just the changing of your mind, change your mind, change your world. If you want your life to be different, you have to make it different. And it starts with the very simple thing of setting that intention to help you figure out which directions you need to go and to get into alignment with what you're really here to do. Because we don't get a book. We're not born with a book that says, hey, this is what you're here to do. We got to figure it out. And um yeah, absolutely, Mary. And I do plan on recording it. And like I said, I just picked a really fabulous time and had too much going on. So I'll be getting kind of settled back in and um getting back. I want to get to doing that on a regular basis. I kind of miss it in my life. But we'll be doing the daily intentions and the past life regression stuff. And then I also want to do like some more crystal education there and studying rocks and the crystals and the various uses and applications and things like that. And we'll do all that kind of stuff through the school app and it'll just kind of build upon itself. So we'll do like the chakra balancing sessions over there. So all the sales stuff will be here on Whatnot. And then all the more chit chatty type stuff will be on the school app. Hold on a second, Sereni. Darla, do you still have that handy? I can find it if you don't. Okay, hold on. I'll get it. I'll copy it. Hold on. So I just got this started at the end of the year and then we took over, well, we found out we were going to be able to buy this property and take over this building. And so it's kind of just been sitting idle. I haven't really been able to do much with it, but we will get going on that again soon. All right. Oh, somebody just got a giveaway. Who was it? Good morning, Debbie. How are you? Oh, I just went and found it too. There it is again. 2 times you got the link. Yours was quicker than mine, Corby. Thank you. How's the weather out there? Are you enjoying some beautiful weather? Have you been out to the ocean yet, Debbie? I need an ocean trip. I was thinking about taking off this weekend, and then both the hubby and the kid are sick. I'm like, man, we could just leave and drive down there and be there in the morning and enjoy the beach for a day, come home on Sunday. But they're both sick, so we're not going to be doing that. If it now it's going to snow. I'm hoping it doesn't though, because I really need to get over to the property and get some stuff out of there. Oh, it's a couple hours away. I remember you said that. Yeah, I remember you said that. We're supposed to get snow tonight and tomorrow. I know, not cool. Not cool at all. Yeah, not cool. I don't love that. Lots of rain, huh? Is it like a satisfying rain or is it like rain, rain, go away kind of rain? Because sometimes they're satisfying. To go away kind of rain. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Debbie. I hope it goes away super fast for you. Do, 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 do. You have a month left? Yeah, it's only a day, right? All right, I'm going to make some listings. We're going to do some listings. Symphony that's life. Oh, Sammy's going to be so excited. I ordered him some Larvakite spheres last night. So they'll be here. I had them air shipped with a couple other things. So they'll be here probably like the end of next week or beginning of the following week. Yeah, he's going to be super excited. I seen him. I was like, man, did you ship out my box yet? And they were like, no. And I was like, okay, well, can you put those in there? They're like, yeah, we're packing it right now, so we're gonna ship it today. And I was like, please put those 3 spheres in there. I ordered 3 of them. He's gonna be super excited. In my ear, in my mouth, and I'm a million different people from one day to the next. Momo, no, no, no. I don't know which ones to put in there. All the big ones, I guess, huh? All the big ones need to go in there. Oh my gosh, you guys. They have a I'm trying to think. It was 22 kilos. So that would be 1 kilo is 2.2 pounds. So that would be 44. So like a 50-pound, it's a little over a foot wide, grape agate sphere. And it is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It's like the purples and blues and a little bit of the green, and it's all like sugary. It's like a sugary, sparkly grape agate sphere. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I want it so bad. It is so beautiful. My cost on it though, wholesale, is like $2,500. And I'm like, oof, that's out of my budget by a lot. By a whole lot. Is that 4? That's awesome. Give me a color, Mary. Give me a color. Purple. Yeah, it is the coolest. Absolute coolest. Okay, what are we going to do for you? Hey guys, it's 11:11 Central Time. Make a wish. It's a wish hour. It's 12:11 at Corby's house. That's cool, Darla. Looks like a full moon. Yeah, that's cool. On like a dragon stand. That's cool. I need to get some fancy stands. I ordered a whole bunch of sphere stands. They should be here. They're supposed to depart customs, is what it said yesterday. Yesterday it said it would depart customs today. So it's here in Chicago. Hopefully it'll be here at my house tomorrow or Monday. Did it spin off? Dusty's did that too. She's like, Mom, I think I spun it a little too much. Yep, that's what Dusty's did too. She's like, I think I spun it a little too much. I'm like, yeah, well, I guess that's why they're cheap. They're cool though. I know. Dusty did too. Yeah, it is exciting, Debbie. Yeah, so a whole bunch of sphere holders, the little tree ones for the mini spheres. Um, I got mini blue lace agate spheres coming, the tiny mini ones, uh, because I like those. And just a whole bunch of small sphere holders. None of them are like fancy ones, but just different styles, the small ones. Because I'm like out. I know. So hopefully we'll be unboxing that on Monday. That's the plan. Now you just spin your bracelets. Yeah. I think I found a whole, I don't know what we're running. We're running a surprise if anybody wants a surprise. Yeah, metal buckets. You mean like bar buckets? I think I found a wholesaler for the stainless steel spinner rings because I am obsessed with mine. And this one's a little bit bigger and thicker than my other one was. So I don't know. Do you guys ever just like randomly think about like random ridiculous stuff, right? So we're laying in bed the other night and this ring, it's kind of pretty thick, and it's on there. I mean, I really got to get it off. So, and my thumb is just I had the one I had was it wasn't quite as thick as this one, I guess. But I've been wearing the spinner ring for probably 10 years now. Michael got me the other one and then I got this one. And yeah, this one's a little bit wider this way and thick up and down. It's just it's bulkier than the other one was. The other one was a little bit smaller. Uh like the other one, the total width was like the size of the spinny part. This part right here. And this one's got that extra, and that makes a difference. And so anyways, we're laying there in bed and I'm thinking like, what if my hand swelled up and I couldn't get this thing off? Because it's stainless steel. Like there ain't no crushing it or nothing. And so I'm thinking like, well, I could have Michael cut it off. And then I'm thinking like, well, could I just use I don't want him to cut it off with the grinder because that's going to cut me too, especially if my hand's all swelled up or something. So I'm like, I wonder if I could cut stainless steel with the tile saw, right? It's got a diamond bit blade. So we're laying in bed, about to fall asleep. And I'm like, honey. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, can you cut stainless steel with the tile saw? And he's like, what? And I'm like, can you cut stainless steel with the tile saw? And he's like, I'm gonna need some more context. And I was like, it was just a simple question. I just want to know because the tile saw you can touch it and it doesn't cut you. And I'm like, it's just a simple question. Can you or not? He's like, well, I'm going to need some more context. So I told him, I'm like, well, what if somebody randomly, their hand swelled up and yeah, right. I done had a whole conversation in my head about it. I'm like, what if randomly somebody's like hand swelled up and they needed to cut their ring off or something? And he's like, well, I would use like a pair of nippers or, like a pair of whatever the wire dikes or something like that. And I'm like, well, I'm thinking about this ring and I'm not wanting to tell him my whole story in my head. I'm just wanting an answer, you know? And I'm like, well, what if it was thicker than that? Like, what if it was like a really big, thick ring? And he's like, you are ridiculous. Like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? And I'm like, well, my ring, you know. So I finally told him. He just laughed. He's like, if you have to get it cut off, I promise I'll cut it off for you without hurting you. But yes, you probably could use the tile saw for that, but it would not be ideal. And I'm like, okay, thanks. Cause I was just wondering, like, in case you weren't around or something, you know? He's just like, "Oh my god, can I go to sleep now?" I was almost asleep. Uh Right, you know, that's what I was worried about for absolutely no reason at all. It was like, the only way I know to cut something off without cutting your finger off would be to use the tile saw, so I just wanted to know if the tile saw would cut the stainless steel or not. That's all I wanted to know. Yeah, right? Oh, that's my brain though, all the time. It's always somewhere. That's kinda cute. You can see that top shelf too. Well, that's fun. I know, I kinda like that too. And they're spooky. I might have to rearrange that shelf. I think I'm gonna have to do some rearranging. I think, I'm thinking out loud, inside my head and out loud. I think I'm gonna get off here and go ahead and get shipping caught up real quick. There's only a couple packages to go out. Um, do some rearranging, and maybe we'll do a Friday night live tonight. I know the hubby and the kiddo are still both being really boring. And they're sickies. They're being boring. So I think maybe we'll do a Friday night live. I'll probably get everything cleaned up and straightened up and organized, and we'll do like $2 starts or something. Hey, Serenity, anytime. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I appreciate it. We all appreciate you being here. Yeah, kind of get some other stuff organized and put together, and yep. Right, we could do some of that too. That might be fun. Kind of mix some of it in there. I got most of it boxed up. No, I probably won't do that. I could pull the mushroom coffee though. It's in a separate box. We could run the mushroom coffee tonight. I got to go through all those other boxes too before I sell that stuff, cuz some of that stuff is mine that I'm not going to sell. Yeah. The general merchandise stuff though, I got it all boxed up. I don't know, I might get it out maybe. That might be kind of fun. Kind of mix it up a little bit. Do Roxanne. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Um, yeah, I'm gonna hop off here and go get myself. It did. That was pretty cool. I liked that. Yeah, that actually worked out really well, didn't it? Um, yeah, I'm gonna go get myself another cup of coffee and a little snack and get some shipping caught up. And I hope you guys all have a super amazing day. I'm gonna work on my buy it now, get some pieces put in there. I'm gonna go start a fire in the fireplace because it's getting cold in here. I might go drag some more firewood in here since it's supposed to snow tomorrow. That's so dumb. All right, guys. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. I love y'all. I will talk to you soon. Make sure you bookmark my shows and let's see if we can find somebody to raid. Oh, we're gonna just raid. Let's see. Let's raid crystals and couts. Here we go. Bye, guys.